Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you for our time together. I'd like us to look this morning at one of the most infamous characters in the Bible, a guy by the name of Absalom. In 2 Samuel chapter 14, beginning with verse 3, he has now been living back in Israel for a season of time. He's not yet been restored to relationship with his father. Joab, this kind of a snake that hung around David, finally got David to agree to meet with him. And it says, so Joab told the king what Absalom had said. Then at last David summoned Absalom, who came and bowed before the king, and the king kissed him. But that's not the end of the story. After this, following an act of false submission, after this, Absalom bought a chariot and horses and hired 50 bodyguards to run ahead of him. And he begins the great rebellion that ends in his death. I want you to, as we walk through chapter 15, as you read through it today, I want you to notice the characteristics of rebellion. Number one, rebellion always launches after an encounter where false submission is demonstrated. Secondly, rebellion and betrayal is very patient. Absalom waited 2 years to kill his brother for raping Tamar, and now he waits 4 years, total of 6 years, to start the rebellion since the death of Tamar. 4 more years he waits before he launches his rebellion against King David. So rebels and betrayal can be very, very patient. Rebellion and betrayal likes to serve their vengeance cold. You've heard the old worldly statement that vengeance is a dish best served cold. Well, Absalom was a master at being patient and waiting to launch his rebellion at the last moment. Rebellion hides behind spirituality. You know, after 4 years, Absalom said to the king in verse 7, let me go to Hebron and offer a sacrifice to the Lord and fulfill a vow I made for him. He's hiding behind spirituality. So rebellion follows an act of demonstrated false submission. Rebellion and betrayal is very patient. Rebellion and betrayal always likes to serve its vengeance cold. It has a bitter root in its heart against somebody. Rebellion hides behind the cloak of super spirituality. Rebellion does everything in secret. Rebellion gathers other people around it that are bitter. And this one is the surprising one. He sent for Ahithophel, verse 12, one of David's counselors. Now, Ahithophel was David's closest and wisest advisor, but he's also the grandfather of Bathsheba. And Ahithophel never got rid of the bitter root in his heart for what David had done in destroying Bathsheba's life and murdering her husband. That was his granddaughter. So when you start looking around at rebellion and betrayal, understand this is a person with a bitter heart who knows how to put on a show of spirituality, who knows how to put on a show of false submission, who knows how to say all the right words. They are performance. They should get an Oscar for their performances. But at the bottom heart of every one of them is a huge root of bitterness, and they gather around them people that are just as bitter.